Today I'm setting up my hand lettering lyrics planner. Hi everyone, welcome to Creatively Gracious. If you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by. My name is Cecilia, and if you're returning, thanks so much for coming back. I really do appreciate each and every one of you stopping by and hanging out with me today. Today I'm going to be doing something that I had mentioned in my previous videos, that I would be using this cover and disc for another project. So I wanted to share what I'm going to be using that for now. So this was my Faith War binder at the beginning of the year, but I changed it out a couple months ago. So I want to reuse this, and I had a great idea for it. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will share with you how I'm using this. And this is the planner that I'm going to frankenplan into this. This is a 18-month horizontal. It is from 2023. And I picked it up in January of 2023. It was on clearance, and I picked it up because it is a horizontal layout, and I do like using the horizontal for my hand lettering. So that's why I picked it up. But I'm going to jump on over to, let's see, what month? We'll just go to April because that's the month we're in right now. And I've already used some of these pages because I have hand lettered some of my lyrics, but I want to share with you how I'm going to set this up. So I'm going to use April going forward, and I'll show you what I do with that. I'm going to move it out of the way for just a second. So I took everything out of this planner or happy notes except for, oh, there's something still in there. Oh no, except for the note paper. And let me show you what I want to do with this. So I have 4 tabs in here. 3 of them came with this happy notes. These 3 here came with the happy notes here. And let me show you the last one, that one here. And this first one actually came in a recovery journal, and it says, remember you once prayed for the things you have now. And I just love that. And I thought it went well with this planner. So I had put it in there before taking my Faith War binder apart. So I'm going to leave that one in there now. Okay, so the first thing we have here, I just left the dot grid paper in here, and I'm going to leave that in here. This will be my kind of first section. And what I have is I just wrote down some reminders of how to work on my hand lettering. So there's just things that I tend to forget, like holding my pen. The way I hold my pen makes a difference in my hand lettering. So I just wrote these little reminders here, and I just wanted to keep them in here so that I could reference as soon as I come into this planner. So that's what we have here. The next thing that I have, let me move this over, is I do hand letter lyrics. And I've been doing that for some time. It's probably been a year and a half, maybe longer. I'm trying to remember. The inspiration came from Instagram, and I don't remember what her name was. There was one day that I was scrolling Instagram, and I came across this gal who had hand lettered the lyrics to a Journey song. And I love Journey. I love their music. And I seen it, and I was like, that is such a great idea. So I decided, because I don't listen to really that music anymore, I listen to Christian music. So I decided to go ahead and hand letter the Christian lyrics. So that's what I've been doing. And I wish I could remember her name, because I would love to tag her, because she's the one that originally came with the hand lettering the lyrics idea, but I don't remember who she was. But I thought it was a great idea. And that's when I started to hand letter the lyrics. And it's probably been maybe 2021 that I seen that I started in my mini planner, and then I switched out. So all this is I took some pages from a monthly planner, and I'm going to use those to write down the songs that I want to do, and then I'll just mark down which song I've done. And these 2 pages, I will probably adhere them together. I'm not sure yet, because I was thinking maybe I could use this page, maybe I could use this for notes, but we'll see. I'm going to leave that like that for now. And then in the back here, I just have some more note paper, and I'm going to leave that like that. So that's going to be in the front of my hand lettering planner. And then under the next section is where I'm going to have some practice sheets. So let me get these papers. I have some tracing paper here, and these came from a hand lettering book that I had purchased from Michael's, I think. And it was a big size. It was a 8.5 by 11. I just cut the tracing paper down to size so that I can put in here, and you can see I have a piece here. So I could put in here and I can practice hand lettering. So I just kind of wanted to show you something real quick too, because I do have a lot of these Dollar Tree books, and you can see here, this is what the big page looked like. And what I tend to do is I'll grab a piece of tracing paper and I'll just trace on here just to give me some practice before I hand letter. And sometimes I do that. There are a couple that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. So you have these Disney ones and these Crayolography, Crayolograph. I can't even say that, but you have two of these here. So you can find different ones at the Dollar Tree and use those for inspiration. But let me show you another thing that I have here for my practice too. See if I don't drop everything here. This was one of my first original hand lettering books that I made, and these practice sheets come from Tombow, so you can always print them off of Tombow. So they give you different practice sheets here, and I do use this. I have some of them punched in here. These are kind of extra copies. Whoops. Well, that's in there too. I don't know why that's in there, but that's in there. And then this is the book. What I did, it was a Kelly Creates book, and this is the one where the practice sheets were in, the copy sheets, or what did I call them? I don't remember the name, but they were in here. And what I did is I just unbound that book and I punched it. And then this is where I was practicing. And as you can see, some of it is practice, some of it's not. But also in the back of this is I have Llama's love lettering. She had a whole bunch of printables at one time, and I picked those up. So I do use this sometimes with the tracing paper. That's what it is, tracing paper. And I go through, and then back in the back. So she has all these different types of lettering that you can practice. And that's good too. Maybe I'll get into that more. But in the back, I just have some more Tombow sheets. So the ones in the front are the extras. But this is kind of where I practice too. I'll use the tracing paper for that and practice. But I do like the classic size. So that's why I cut some of the tracing paper out and put it in here. So that's going to be in the front here. And I think even though this tracing paper came in the book, I think you can purchase it on Amazon. I haven't checked, but I will check before I post this video and post a link in case you want to see that. Okay, so let me see where I'm at here. So as you can see, I do have some practice going on here. And these are the Happy Planner sheets. These are not the horizontal sheets. These are actually the hand lettering practice sheets that Happy Planner sells. And I want to talk to you about those too, but we'll get into that here in just a bit. And then I just have some more practice sheets that I have here. So I'm going to put the practice sheets in here. And then we're going to move on to getting this all set up. So what I want to do is I'm thinking of maybe putting 3 months behind each divider. And I'm going to go ahead and start with this page here. This is the end of April because I've already used some of April going forward. And I whited these out. This is where the day of the week was and the date. So I whited that out. And then this was another practice page, but on the other side of it was the real take of my hand lettering. So I think I'm just going to attach these two together. Let me get my, where is it? Adhesive. I don't see my adhesive. Okay, well, I'm going to attach these two together, and then you come here to my actual hand lettering. So this is one that you may have seen. I posted this on Instagram and probably on a YouTube short. And then this is one that I did before going back to my reminders up here. So I wasn't holding the pen properly, and I can tell, and I was gripping it too tight, and you can really tell the difference when you're doing that. So this was the first one that I did. And this is the one you may have seen. But then I went back and I tried it on the practice page. And look at how much prettier that is. And it's just because I went back to those reminders, I reviewed them, and then I said, oh yeah, I'm holding the pen too tight. So this looks a lot better than this. Another thing I wanted to mention, let me pull this out real quick. And I'm going to show you something here in just a second. Let me go ahead and pull April out. Oh no, it was the March pages I used. I thought I had used April pages, but it was the March pages. So we're going to put April in here, January, February, March, and we're going to put April, May, and June, I think, in here. Okay, so what did I do? Let me go back over here because I'm missing a page here. Oh, this page. This page is, I'm going to go ahead and adhere these two pages together because I don't need the currently page. I don't need the currently page, so I'm going to adhere these two pages together, and then that way it just kind of flows seamlessly. So we'll just run right back into this. And again, I do white out the day of the month and the date, and I do white that out, and then I decorate. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to run into May now, and I'm going to pull May out of here. And then these two will be adhered together, and then it runs there. And then we're going to go to June. So this is a great way to use extra horizontal sheets that you may have, because you can always use them for hand lettering or other things. And I choose to use them for hand lettering. So then we're going to go into July. So then this is kind of where it gets tricky because July's there, and we're going to move into July over here. So my thought is, instead of pulling that July, what I think I'm going to do is just put a piece of note paper, and then I will attach it here. So I will attach those two together, and maybe I'll do some decorating on there. And then over here, I'm going to put a piece of note paper as well. I forgot to grab that out. And maybe I will decorate this. So that's how it's going to flow. And then we'll just go back over here. So we have August in here. No, we have July in there. So we're going to pull August. And we're just attaching these in here. And then we'll go to September. And since I was using this for my war binder, I did want to get some use out of it. And that's why I decided to go ahead and use it as my hand lettering planner. So now we're going to go into October. So this is the 4th quarter of the year. And that's really how I'm doing it. I'm putting them in quarters. So every quarter will have a section instead of a month, because I don't need the months on there. I don't need to know the month because I don't always hand letter every day. It's just going to be practice for me. So this is just going to be a setup, and it works out. And whenever I can do some hand lettering, I will do it, and it will be all together here. So that's how this is going to work. So there's December. And then this is that back sheet. This is a noted page. I'm just going to leave it. I know it doesn't go too well, but I'm going to leave it there. So what I wanted to show you too, let's go back over here to one of these blank pages. So this blank page, I wanted to share with you guys. Usually what I do is when it comes to these pages, I usually leave a line open at the top, and then I use the 2 lines, and then 2 lines and 2 lines. And this right here works smaller with the smaller pens, like the Rytec. These are the Rytec sign brush pens, and I love these pens because they do work really well with the horizontal. And as you can see, you get a good amount of space with these pens. And then I also have the Tombos. These are the Tombow brush pens, and these work really well for this Happy Planner hand lettering practice sheet because the space between these lines is actually bigger. So this is what I wanted to show you. If you wanted to duplicate the space between this, what you can do is leave the top space blank, and then you would use 3. Let me see if I can show you here. I'm trying to get it to where it sets here. So then you would use 1, 2, and 3, and then 1, 2, and 3, and it would leave the bottom space blank and the top space blank. So that would give you the same space as this practice sheet. And this practice sheet works well with the bigger pens, the ones that have a, larger brush pen. So I do like using this, and I do like using these sheets, but I can also use the horizontal sheet because now I just have to change my spacing. Where over here, I was getting, let's go back over here. Over here, I was getting 3 lines in the horizontal, but if I want to use the big brush, I would get 2 lines in each block here. So I wanted to share that because I found that out with trial and error. And sometimes I do like writing bigger. So I wanted to share that. And some other pens that I have, these are brush pens too. These actually came from Hobby Lobby. These have a thick brush pen on the end and then a fine line. But this brush pen from Hobby Lobby is, oh, let me turn it this way, is a little bit harder to control, especially when you're still learning. The bigger brush is a little bit harder to control. And I think that's why I like these so much, because these are easier to control for me. But I will use these if I have more space, like here, because I think this came out great, and I did use a Tombow pin for that. So I just wanted to share that in case you run into the spacing issue with your pens, because you can use a horizontal for hand lettering. It's just, you just got to be mindful of the spacing and how much you want to write if you're using a bigger brush pen. So let's see, I'm gonna probably leave that out for now. And I think that's gonna be it. I just wanted to share with you how I'm using this. And let's just take a quick flip through. It's not anything too fancy, but I like it and it's gonna work for me. So these are just my little reminders. Hold pen toward middle. So you want to hold the pen toward the middle, and you want to hold it loosely. You don't want to hold it too tight because you want to be able to get those curves in the letters. And then angle paper slightly. So I usually have my paper slightly angled like that. Take your time and don't tighten grip too much. I already had that one there. And when when using a bigger tip lettering pens, use 4 lines, 2 rows of lettering per horizontal day. So I did write that. Have example font handy for review. Practice, practice, practice. And then again, don't hold the pen too tight. I must do that a lot because I wrote that down a couple of times. So those are my reminders, just in case you're learning how to hand letter. Oh, and if you don't have books to hand letter with, I wanted to mention that you can follow Judy over at JLB Crafts. Yes, I think it's JLB Crafts. I'll link it if it's not JLB Crafts. But she has 2 years of hand lettering where she goes week by week and shows you how to hand letter. I actually followed her hand lettering for a year, and I'm thinking about going back to it at some point and just reviewing my practice, because sometimes if I'm not doing it all the time, I do tend to forget what I'm supposed to be doing. So it is good to go back and review, I think. At least for me, it is. So I'm just showing you here what this is. It's just really the horizontal sheets. And I will white all this out. I'm not going to do that on this video, but I will white all this out and you won't see it. And then it's just going to look nice and pretty. Like, where's that sheet? Like these sheets here. See, that one's coming off, but it'll look like this, and then you can just decorate it however you'd like. And then there are times that I'm only going to have to use one sheet, so there will be another sheet blank here. And what I'll do is, if I have lyrics that are not too long, I'll just come back in and fill the page. So that's how I'm going to do it. So that's my plan on how to use these that have the single sheet. And then this one, oh no, we're going to attach that. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to share this real quick and show you guys how I'm going to be using a horizontal for my hand lettering, and getting some reuse out of this Happy Notes that I had used for my war binder, but then I changed it up because I got that other pretty faith journal from Personalize My Planner, so that's why I changed it up. But I still wanted to use this because it's so pretty, and I just love it with these metal discs. These are the violet metal discs, in case you're wondering. And that's how I'm going to reuse it, and I think it's going to work out great. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you're working on your hand lettering or if you're wanting to learn. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay creative, be gracious, and I will share again with you soon.